I just finished watching this wonderful documentary called The Dark Wizard, and the moment I finished it, I was completely speechless. I just sat there staring at my ceiling for hours with this absolute rush of thoughts crashing into me, and I knew I had to turn on the camera and just let my thoughts out because this documentary actually gave me answers to things I've been searching for a very long time in my life. And full disclosure, by the way, this isn't a review nor an analysis, this is just purely personal thoughts. And for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's this incredible documentary about Dean Potter. He was a solo rock climber, a highliner, a base jumper. He is this legend who completely changed or transformed the sports scene. He also invented free base, which is climbing these massive rocks alone with nothing but a parachute on his back in case he falls. He broke speed records and he walked high lines like thousands of feet up in the air. And he was into wingsuit flying, and I believe he held records for the longest wingsuit flights as well. Like, these are just parts of his achievements, since it is very hard to remember them all. Um, and yeah, anyway, Dean had this specific motto, which is transcending human limitations, and I think I can show you the exact scene, um, which is right before this shot.
What is that moment that you're looking for? Like, how will you know you have it? Like, how do you know you have it?
You know, transcending human limitations is kind of what I'm obsessed with in life, and I'm obsessed on it on kind of this flashy way where I fly, but I see that if I could take that and transcend the main things that matter, hate, jealousy, insecurities, all the negative things that pull you down in life. Maybe right now I'm thinking about flying, but it's just a metaphor to bring me somewhere else.
And so, my own motto in life is to experience as many emotions as possible before dying. At the time, I thought mine and Dean's were different, but by watching his journey, I realized that those two ideas collapse into each other. By pushing past what a human body is supposedly limited to do, he was actually unlocking an entirely different spectrum of human feelings. And that is what I loved the most about him. He was experiencing a variety of intense emotions that I could never even begin to imagine. And the crucial part is that he was fully and deeply aware of it. Throughout the documentary, we see glimpses of his journals, and I try to stop and read as much as I can. And I realized that he spends the time to understand his feelings. He tried to truly understand his internal world rather than just giving it some surface level explanation. And I noticed that it is such a massive contrast to Alex, who, if you read his writings, he views solo climbing as a pure, unemotional, almost like mathematical, technical sport. For Dean, the complex mess of his emotion was a huge part. Like, almost every mountain he climbed felt like an act to either resolve an unwanted emotion or desperately experience a new one. And that connects to something I have kept to myself for a long time. And the people who know me know I have always had this fascination with mountains, but have never actually shared the reason why. It started when I saw a video a long time ago of someone who was filming in a small town, and there was this beautiful mountain range in the background, and it hit me a few months later that anyone can look at a mountain from afar and anyone can take photo of it, but only the people who actually spend the time, the physical and mental effort, and even the risk to truly get to know that mountain are the climbers. And so every single one of them walks away with a completely different and a very deeply personal story that is completely their own. This idea just like fascinates me so much. And also, I've always had this deep pull toward nature because when I look at our modern society, I honestly believe we are losing touch with how life was actually meant to be. That's why I have always like taken so much comfort in stories about people who just ditch everything to go live out in the wild. And if you look at uh, story I've ever loved, every story I've ever read, watched, or even played, the protagonist is always this outsider, the person who never belonged to society because it is a lifelong struggle. And I actually have plans to pursue this lifelong dream of mine, even if it costs me my life. But yeah, until then, these are just some of the thoughts that I wanted to let out after finishing this incredible and wonderful documentary.